Everyone I know who has gone to a religious summer camp has had some sort of terrible experience. It is usually some beforehand problems with religion specifically, or it's a sequence of events at the place that leads to them having some sort of mental break and stripping butt booty naked, going into their pastor's room at late hours and, I don't know, tickling his toes with feathers. I like the four people I know who've had a terrible experience at a religious summer camp, I've had a bad experience at a religious summer camp. I don't remember the exact age I was when this happened. I think I was like 13 or 12. Memories started blurring together a long time ago. Started when I was like 5, and I'm 40 now. Thought I was being breastfed yesterday. Maybe I was remembered when I was a kid. Maybe I was. Let's see. My mom came up to me. One day I was in my room. I think I was cleaning or something. She came up to me. She said, hey, listen, in 2 days, you're going to go to this camp, and you're going to be gone for a week, so go pack. And I was just like, what? This is coming out of 2022. So I haven't gone outside or done anything like this in a really, really long time. I didn't know what was going on. I was scared for my life. I felt sort of like a worm that crawled out of the dirt and dried up on the cement to be stepped on by a 400-pound mailman. I remember packing my things, and I hadn't done laundry in a while because I was a bum, and I didn't pack what I needed. I think you needed like a bunch of stuff, and I was like, wow, I ain't reading all that. So I brung like 1 pair of underwear, 4 pairs of shirts, 2 pairs of pants, a couple socks, and some sandals. What can I say? I was a genius. Probably smartest kid of my time. The day comes, my mom assuming that I brung all my shit. My sister came too. She brung all her shit, for sure, I think. She had a great time, maybe? I don't know. She said she was sacrificing homeless men while I was getting heckled by a bunch of nuts. I don't know. Shit happens, life happens, you know how it is. We pull up, and my mom drops me off. So we walk in, and there's these 2 ladies. My mom says, "Oh, where do we go?" And they go, "Oh, we know. Just give us your children. Come on, come here, kiddos, come here." And I look at my mom seeking some sort of guidance or something. I'm like, please help me, help. I'm seeking, I don't know, love, validation for my confused feelings here. I'm clearly scared. I'm petrified. And she looks down at me, and she goes, "Boy, go." I'm like, well, shit. Worth a shot. Never worked before. Me and my sister go with the ladies. They take us to a big gymnasium, and they keep us in there for like 30 minutes or something like that. Some guy walks in. I believe he said something along the lines of line the kids at the vans. And now I was spooked before. Now I'm scared. I'm shitless befunkled. I'm petrified. I said petrified already. What's another word? Give me something else. Oh my god. I only know 3 words. No. I'm sorry about that. I get really sad when I realize I'm illiterate. You know what happens. They take us to the vans. A bunch of white vans where all the kids would get in, and they would drive us to the camp. First of all, we had to drop all of our, luggage and stuff at their U-Hauls. Big white U-Hauls, with a bunch of dudes loading them in. Maybe there was one white U-Haul. I don't know, there wasn't plural, there's just one. And there was one guy just throwing all of our shit in there. I'm like, "Here you go, mister." And he's like, "Give me that shit, bitch." I'm like, "Yo, what?" And he throws my crap in. I'm like, I could have had valuables in there. I was a broke bitch. I didn't have any valuables. He was like, "Get your ass out of here." I'm like, "Okay, sir." And he sent my sisters down really, really nicely. Very gently, petitely, in fact. I'm like, yeah, all right. Well, I'm like ugly, but I'm not that ugly, man. What the hell? He said something along the lines of, "You look like a goddamn salamander," and that bruised my ego enough for me to walk along. We went to the vans, I remember they separate me and my sister, so I'm at one van, she's at some other one. I don't think it was something to do with gender because I got a girl in my van. Um, I'm standing at the van for a while. A couple other kids come to the same van as me, and then a giant lady comes walking out. I don't want to be mean because she was really nice and she had a giant. There was a lot of this woman. There was a significant amount of that. And I wouldn't be mentioning this if it wasn't a part, if it wasn't a plot point, okay? If it wasn't a plot, if it wasn't something that I could make fun of. I mean, some that was there. That affected me in the story. There, it affected me in the story. Uh, she had a really, really big box of Twizzlers. We get in her van. She's grabbed by the handful, and I'm sitting up front, right next to her. When I barely have any room, so I'm just kind of like this. I wasn't a small kid. I was kind of fat, kind of obese. I was just chubby. I was a chubby kid, yeah. And then there was three other kids in the back. We'll talk about them in a second. We get in the van. She's like, "Oh, how you doing, kids? How you doing?" Oh, she pets my face for some reason. I don't know why that's happening. And she gets in the giant box and just hand fill. Oh, feel free, kids. We were all overdosing on Twizzlers that entire probably 3-4 hour drive. I'm pretty sure the drive was hell. I paid for a couple of my sins during that. There was a pick-me girl in the back and two guys that wouldn't really talk unless they were trying to make some remark to annoy you. It was more of like a wow, couldn't be me type of thing. Like, wow, you did that, couldn't be me. I was like, great. I haven't spoken to anyone in like 3 years and I'm trying to keep it cool. And you said that? I probably would have jumped out if the door wasn't locked, or if I actually had the balls. I gave the pick me girl like a lot of attention because I didn't know to not do that yet. I didn't know it's like, hey, by the way, so like, when people are like really trying to get attention from you, you should probably not do that. Whatever. I gave her a bunch of attention. Other than that, the drive was fine. I had so many Twizzlers. I'm thinking 4,000, 5,000 calories. That's like kind of not an exaggeration. I I had like Asperger's, so I didn't know. I didn't have the same pressure to not eat someone else's goods as I do now. I was just like, me? Really? You want me some of your shit? I mean, I'll oblige. And I was just grabbing. Oh, oh my god. And Twizzlers aren't even that good. They're just not that good. I'm sorry. If you like Twizzlers, you're weird. You're weird. You're weird. You're weirding me out. You're freaking me out, man. Alright, they're not that bad. I'm C tier. C tier? C plus tier. There you go. I think I like Milk Duds. They're above Milk Duds. I'm sorry. If you don't like Milk Duds, you're not running meta, which is really lame. Milk Duds are meta. Maybe you are running meta. You're a dirty meta runner. That's what you are. I don't know. It sounds too cool. You're running meta. You're just runner meta. That's what you are. Continuing. What was I even talking about? What is this story about? We get there at the camp. It's up in the hills. There's this really thin, winding road. And the lady was driving with one hand, right? And she's down in Twizzlers with the other. And I'm like, well, if this wasn't hell already, I guess I'm gonna die. I might as well overdose on Twizzlers before I do it. No, we lived, unfortunately. We make it up there. I crawl out because it smelled terrible in that van. Something along the lines of like a really sweet metallic smell. I don't know why I remember that specifically. We get out. I get my luggage from the guy. Again, just throws my shit out of there and takes my sister's and drops it on the floor right next to her. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And he's like, beat it, kid. Like, all right, well, what do you do? What do you do? For a while, I'm literally just standing in the middle of this field wondering what is going on. I have my luggage. My sister's off talking with her friends. I didn't have any friends at this place. I never really went to church. Oh yeah, I should probably talk about my religious state at the time. I was not really religious. I was avoiding thinking about if I was religious or not. If that makes any sense. I didn't want to think about it because if I thought about it too much, I figured I'd have some crazy epiphany that would like haunt me forever. No, I just stopped being religious. I was raised religious, whatever. I was raised Mormon, and at some point I was like, wow, this is whack, and I actually hate everything. That was edgy. What was I talking about? What was I speaking about beforehand? I get on rats. I think the word is, what is the word? It's something, I digress, and I think that word is, it's like kind of posh. It annoys me. I don't know. I think posh is an annoying word. You know the word I hate the most? They're all like political words. And I think I don't like them because they just make me feel stupid. I don't know. They're just hateful words. I could just like say a slur. Man, I sure do hate the N word. I just drop an N bomb on you. That'd be lit. Post it on 4chan. What was I talking about? Oh my god. I'm telling you, the memories are noodling together. My white boy thoughts are dying and birthing at the same time. Um, okay, I'm in the field and I'm just standing there for a while until there's a bunch of dudes in different colored shirts with clipboards calling kids names. And my name was called, so I went up to the guy and I was like, "Hello, sir." And he's like, "Oh, god damn, you are ugly." I said, "What the fuck?" Uh, and he said I was a part of his group, which was Group Red. He explained there was four groups, or no, four colors, and there was 8 groups. That's 10. That's not 8. 8 groups, and there was only 4 colors, right? So, 4 groups for girls, 4 groups for boys. Red, yellow, blue, green. I was a part of red. I was red boys because do I look like a woman? I don't I don't think so. I've been confused for a woman before. It was at a Denny's. My mom got really mad. Uh and I think he did it on purpose. I don't understand why. I used to have long hair, but that's like I don't I don't get it. Like maybe I was missing something. I don't know. He went up to me and said, "Oh, what do you ladies want?" He stared me in the eyes. It felt malicious. I hope that guy at Denny's is doing all right. That is probably the most positivity you will ever get out of me. That's it. That's all I got for you. I'm sorry. It's all dried up. Eventually, after waiting there for all of the other group members to get over to my group leader, I think his name was like Cameron? Dylan? Something like that. He walks us over to a pagoda. I really hope pagoda is the right word. If it's not, then I've been misled my whole life. And I will actually be kind of sad. I'll be kind of sad. I looked up the definition of pagoda a couple times when I was younger, and it just never seemed right to me. Something seemed fishy. Whatever. It's an odd structure. It has like a roof. I'm not gonna explain this. We're not gonna. I'm not spending time on this. I'm not spending time on this. Okay. We go under the pagoda where the pastor is. He's also leading the camp. He's like the man in charge there. He says something about him being king, which was kind of weird. It's kind of strange. It's kind of a strange thing to say. And he was explaining what we were gonna do at the camp. Just curfew, um, how groups were going to win by completing challenges. There was going to be one challenge a day, which is basically just a giant activity with all of the groups. And whoever won the activity would get like a point, and then you would also get a ton of points for doing religious stuff, worship stuff, like reading the Bible, filling in these little homework packets. Oh man, I did it begrudgingly. I remember that was kind of one of the worst parts. Apart from the whole standing up for hours and Hitler saluting, that was. I wish I was exaggerating. Anyway, continuing. I said continuing already. I'm sorry. Scratch it out. I regret it. I regret it deeply. Forgive me. I hate repeating words. And I'm not going to do it anymore. If I do it again... You have permission to, uh, I don't know. I guess you can punch Bill. Bill's back there. Say hello, Bill. Hello, Bill. I don't know. I really hope he's actually there. I've been informed lately that I have been acting erratic. I might need to get medicated. Anyway. I said anyway instead of continued. I'm doing this. I'm doing great. Explain the rules. Curfew. Oh, I'm going to go by memory. I'm not checking my notes. It was wake up 6:40, go to bed 10. Yes, I got that perfectly. There's going to be one activity a day. Okay, well, you wake up, you worship, then you go to an activity, and then there's free time for the rest of the day. We weren't told how long each of these were. I assume the activity is going to be the longest, and then free time the second longest, and worship the least. This is an important plot device. Plot device. It's not a story. It's what happened to me, bro. That's about it. Oh yeah, you win challenges and stuff, and then your group wins at the end, whatever. I didn't even make it to the end of the week. I found a way to escape that place. Foreshadowing? Is that not foreshadowing? That's just telling you what's going to happen, whatever. It was already pretty late in the day, so the pastor told us that we were going to start the first activity and just kind of skip worship. I think he said one prayer before we did it, and I was like, man, whatever. The activity. This was my introduction to the camp. This is kind of foreshadowing how the rest of the camp is gonna go for me. The Rancor, the Rackster, the Rackster. I'm not liking that at all. I was gonna say like Ram.
Your life is nothing. You serve zero purpose.
That sounds
kill yourself
really sick. I don't want to say that anymore. Everyone gets 6-inch ropes, right? And then they all stand in a circle and hold each other's ropes, right? And, everyone holds each other's ropes, and then they run. The side sprint, right? And then they're holding each other's ropes. And so, eventually, the centrifugal force would tear them apart and make one kid fall on the floor, and then that kid would die. He would be eliminated from the camp. They would shoot him on sight. They all had Lugers. It was insane. I'm walking around like, holy shit, no. Sorry, that didn't happen. Not yet, at least. And no, they were just out, and they had to go sit down in a corner or something, and then everyone else would hold the ropes again. They're all spinning around a trash can, and you're not allowed to touch the trash can, so everyone would, like, pull backwards, and then, one kid would fly off. I'm sure you've seen this, you just don't know what I'm talking about. I think Editor Me will put something up that will make it maybe English, maybe. That's a big maybe. Every group was gonna put in 2 people, but according to someone, there was like too many people in the circle, so my group only had to send 1. Comparatively, everyone else in my group looked like Greek gods. They looked like they were practically Arnold. The big Arnold from me, man. I mean, their biceps was about my entire body. I looked like I said before, a salamander. I still kind of do. A wet salamander. I'm thinking, think of Muscle Man, but if he wasn't strong. And I got these really weird, freaky limbs. I'm like unproportionate. My knees, they're supple. My ankles, they're oddly shaped. Triangular? I'm thinking trapezoid. Something like that. That's why I'm looking for this one. I had long hair too. That's going to be kind of important. It doesn't really matter. So they send me in, even though like these guys are huge. They're actually ginormous, even for their age. I'm like 5'10". Alright, one of the guys is really big. Another one of the guys is really short but really buff. You know what? Let's just introduce them. They're going to be important later. The first guy, we'll just call him Burly. He was a big, burly guy. Big, burly Christian guy. I'm thinking 14, 15-year-old. Something like that. And he just, oh my. He didn't really have, like visible striations in his muscles, but you knew he had muscles. God, what are you doing here? This is for youths. You look like a 40-year-old man. Get out of here. And then there was, we'll call him, what, he used to sing a song a lot. What was it? It was the Kanye song. Kanye, we'll call him Kanye. He was a 3'1" white boy who was really buff. And he had a wonderful singing voice. Oh my goodness. It was angelic. It was an absolute delight to hear every single time. One of the three things that kept me from, stripping butt booty naked and going to the pastor's room at late hours. And then the last guy, we'll just call him the zester. The big zester. He was just zesty as hell. He was like a really skinny kid. And he was just enticingly homoerotic. He was clearly gay. I don't know he was gay. Alright, that's not his only character trait. He was kind of a wuss. There you go. 2 character traits. You can be more than just gay, people. Why would you say that? I would never say that. That's all you. Okay? Okay, going forward. I was, they sent me in there. Of course, like I said, I'm a hairless rat with broken limbs. So I grabbed these 2 big guys' ropes. These 2 big guys were actually the guys from the van. And they were in the same group. But the rules about, holding each other's ropes and spinning a circle was that you couldn't be within 2 people of your group because then you might cheat. And you could pull and tug. You weren't supposed to pull and tug. You were just supposed to run around a circle. And they pulled and tugged my rope, right? So I'm holding on to the ropes. And then the pastor shoots his gun in the air and he goes, "Gow, gow!" I'm sorry, that must peak my mic really bad. Forgive me, I'll fix that in editing. And I'm like this. I'm like a short little guy. I didn't hit puberty until I don't know, 30, 34, something like that. I keep saying something like that. I'll stop. I'm sorry. I'm in the air. I'm lifted up. I'm holding these guys' ropes for dear life, and they're holding my ropes. They're tugging on my rope really bad, and I could feel it. I didn't have arms yet. I was a mangled little corpse, so I couldn't hold on for very long in the air because they're tugging on my rope so hard. So eventually, I have to let go of the ropes. But remember, I'm in the air and literally everyone is spinning. It is honestly impressive that both of them were able to pick me up. I don't think I weighed like an insane amount. Maybe I was like 130, 140 in American Freedom units. I don't know the other units because I'm the best. I'm number 1. I don't concern myself with lesser units. Eventually, I fly off. I genuinely fly. I catch myself on the feet and I start running. You know the run where your head is way above your legs, but you just kind of keep going? I could demonstrate it, but it's really late and I don't have legs anymore. I cut them off. Fine. I'll give you a demonstration. Okay. So it's kind of like you're kind of That makes sense? I really hope that made sense. If it didn't, I will cry. You know what I'm talking about. I fall in shit. I fall in poo. It's been about 2 hours, and my face is laying in feces. I don't remember what it smelled or tastes like, thankfully. Yeah. That was my introduction to the summer camp. Bit of foreshadowing. That was the fates playing their little tricks. They're telling me, hey, by the way, this is gonna suck for you, big dog. It's gonna be mad entertaining, though. I'm sure someone will get a kick out of it. A couple people did get a kick out of it, yeah. Whoa, there was a cut there. I'm sorry, I blanked. I blanked again. Okay, well, shit. The guy ends up taking me. The guy, I mean, the pastor sends my group leader to go take me to the dorms, to go clean myself up. They did have showers. It did have hot water. Another one of the things that kept me from equipping myself with a firearm and making this into a Netflix documentary. By the time I had finished, they'd all come back. It was already late in the day, so it was time for us to go to bed for tomorrow. All right, that day was Monday, and there was until Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's 4. That's 4 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, I'm not dumb. I passed elementary school after the 3rd try. Well, I remember before bed, they wanted us to do Bible reading and stuff and this homework stuff every single night. It was torturous. It was terrible. At that time, I was basically failing school because I didn't know. I was scared of words, okay? I was fearful of them. They frightened me. I was terrified. I'm not gonna say petrified again. It's too big of a word. It also scares me. What's the other word? Every single time I read letters in specific, I would get a really disgusting feeling in my gut, and then my eyes would glaze over, and I'd start foaming at the mouth, and then I'd wake up like 4 days later, and it turns out I smoked so much crystal meth. And now everything is terrible. Everything's horrible. The world is in wacky positions, but I feel great. And then that would persist for a while, and eventually I'd go to rehab. And now I'm off, and I'm perfect. Look at how it turned out. Tuesday. This day. This was probably the worst day out of the bunch. Maybe it's really close. I remember getting up. We got up around 6:40. Got out of bed, changed really fast. They ushered us. They wanted us to, come on, hurry the frick up. Go in pajamas if you got it. Everyone, I mean literally everyone from the camp was waiting outside this. It was a big place. I think it was some sort of gymnasium. I think I'm using that right. I don't know. It was a big place that could fit a lot of seats and had a stage there. We went inside, and there were seats for everyone. Then there was a stage in front. The stage had a bunch of, what was the word? Musical objects made for music. It had drums, a guitar, that type of stuff. I forgot what it's called. What is it called? Instruments. A bunch of instruments. Everyone sat down, and it starts off with a prayer, right? They start with prayer, and then it was, I think, some sort of Bible study for like an hour. And I zoned out probably 3 seconds into it. I'm staring at the floor. I'm not really listening. I'm in my own world. I think I was imagining some sort of anime where I was the main character and I got everything I wanted because I didn't understand that struggle was really lit then. And then after that, Christian rock started playing. Another hour goes by, and eventually I get up. I go, God damn! It's been like 2 hours. What are we doing? How long have I been here for? I look around, and everyone's standing up. Everyone's standing up, and they're doing the whoopsie daisy, whoopsie that type of stuff. They're saluting. Yeah, I don't know how else to say this, man. Their hand is pointed up oddly, suspiciously. At the time, I had, insane social anxiety, absolutely crippling social anxiety. So I left me. And this is odd enough where I'm like, holy shit. I have to ask something, right? I left it with me and I go, what are you guys doing? And this guy, he's from my group. Oh my goodness, I forgot to mention this guy. He was the pastor's son, I think. He had blonde hair and blonde eyebrows, blue eyes, that type of stuff. Did not shave. Oh my goodness, it looked like a fungus screw in his armpits, and he was proud of it too. Southern kid, and he looks at me. He goes to his right, and he goes, well, of course he's doing the thing and standing up, and I'm like kind of standing up because it's like what? Well, it's weird if I sit down now, right? And he goes, I'm reaching out to God, man. Come on, don't you love God? Reach out to God, man. At the time, again, not very religious. I'm just like, holy, this is weird. This is a weird thing that's happening. I think it was at that moment where I felt the immeasurable peer pressure just oozing from everything. And I was like, well. And then I had a panic attack, ran to the bathroom, and threw up. I was in the bathroom about 10 minutes. Yes, yes, yes. You can make fun of me. I did have a panic attack because a bunch of weird Nazi Christian dudes were standing up and saluting Hitler. What can I say? I live a pretty lit life. I'm at home 24/7. Don't believe him. I walk out. I go and join them again after I think I've collected myself, and I just kind of stand up and I did the racist. Like, what do you want me to do? Wait, my bad, bro. I was young, okay? I was crippling social anxiety. Is that a word? Things were not looking up for the young rack. Nope. Ranosaurus. I'm sorry. We'll just call him the young R. Me. Just young me. We're not doing young R. Young me. Things were not looking up for young me. I kind of got mad there, okay? I'm going to collect myself for going forward. I hate repeating words. I am truly apologetic. Let's continue. I can't. I need a break. I can't. Right. I'm standing there, saluting a man that has done, countless terrible things. I even knew it. Like that age that he done a bunch of bad stuff. I just realized my microphone was in view the entire time. And I'm embarrassed because this microphone was not worth the money I bought for it. It was like $40. And it was like a well-earned $40. I worked for that $40, man. You know how much $40 meant to me? Means to me. Even now, it's $40. Whatever. I haven't had a chance to rant about how bummed I am about this microphone to anyone yet. And you're the one that clicked on this video, so it's actually your fault. Here we go, right. Stand there. It's about 2 hours, right? Another hour passes. Just, again, soft Christian rock. Another hour passes. Go back to worship. And like 20 minutes pass. We go back to soft Christian rock. And then they finally inform us there's 10 minutes left. So it's been 4 hours and 20 minutes, and there's still 10 minutes left. I'm stood there for 2 hours, 20 minutes. And then for another 2 days, I stood the full 4 hours, 30 minutes. I can't listen to soft Christian rock anymore. I just can't. I don't know. It leaves a taste like bile in my mouth. It just doesn't feel good to listen to. I couldn't stomach any Christian music for a while, and then I discovered Kendrick Lamar, and that's not really the case anymore. I mean, it's Kendrick Lamar. He cured me of some sort of prejudice, so thank you, Kendrick. What was I talking about? 10 minutes left, and he goes, okay, kids, we're going to do some Bible study stuff, and then we'll get out of here, and we'll go to activities. So it's 4 hour, 30 minutes. Since 6:40, which means, which means it's now 10. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, it's 11. Oh, 11:10. It's 11:10. It's 11:10 now. I woke up and I immediately went to worship, and then all that happened. And then immediately after that, we did the activity. I think I was excluded from the activity that day, even though I was very excited for it because I had just stood for that long and very still, which I was not very capable of doing, even now. I think, yeah, the pastor was like, "Well, you don't have any closed-toed shoes. You can't do this." Again, I packed horribly for this. I was kind of a small little idiot. He said, "Well, good news." That's what he sounded like. What do he sound like? I remember he sounded like, "Good news. You can now do a bunch of Bible study." Of course, me, I pulled out my 359 Magnum and shoved it in my mouth and went, gone, dead. That's the end of the story. And I'm in hell, by the way. Welcome to hell. That would have been the good ending. No. I got into an argument with about, he was probably 20. He was a 20-year-old man. At the time, for me, he was unk. He was an old ass dude. And what the argument was about. Okay, well, I made a joke saying that if human seed was, naturally sinful, that God kicked a baby into hell because it's sinful. It's sinful. What do you do? And he was like, well, I'm sure God has some sort of plan for babies or some sort of mercy for babies. And I was like, yo, you're sure? Motherfucker, you're sure? I thought you knew. I was, what? No. That's not very all good, is it? Is it now? That's not very all good, is it? And that argument lasted a while until he eventually was just like, dude, I get paid 13 an hour and we're in California. And I was like, oh damn, my bad, G. Dapped him up. He gave me some homework to do. It was really bad, really terrible. I read the Bible begrudgingly. I don't like I don't like reading books. It's lame. All right, I like reading books now. No, I don't. I like listening to people read books. Cuz again, words scare me. Did the homework and for free time, this is very shameful. This is very shameful. All right, let me first apologize and also guilt trip you. I wanted this to be a more, personable story because it is a personal story to me. It was something that happened and it was a good thing that it happened. I wouldn't change anything about my life, even all the negative and stuff, because it made me who I am today. That's standard answer. There you go. That's the thing. And this is a big reason I have a part of the philosophy I do now, which is, or part of the belief I have now, which is just, I don't believe in, sorry, my nipple is showing. Stop staring at my nipple, you freak. I might cut that, I'm not sure. I can't believe I just interrupted that with my nipple showing. I'm fucking... Bottom 10 YouTubers to ever do it. Number 1, Rancor. Hello, goopers. It's editing me. Yes, I do realize I was freaking out over literally nothing. I thought I hit a nip slip in the middle of trying to explain why I wasn't religious and my own personal experiences. It turns out I did no such thing. Excuses? I was tired. I hadn't gotten any sleep that night. I haven't gotten any sleep tonight. I don't sleep in general. I don't believe in sleeping. Go watch that video. I don't like it. I hate sleeping so much more since I made that video. This is not the last time you will see editor me. Goodbye, back to the video. Oh my god. When I say it like I'm so embarrassed. I might leave this in. I'm incredibly embarrassed. We're going to continue. I don't believe in religion. Not religion. I mean, Christianity. I'm not religious. There you go. I don't Oh, and that this is a big part of why I am not that. Of course, this is like maybe 25%, 75% just like a bunch of other lifelong experiences that just you know, accumulated until one day I was like, wow, this religion stuff just ain't for me. There is me guilt tripping you. And me getting really embarrassed over something. I hope you got a kick out of that, you asshole. Okay, continuing. I'm not gonna say. Oh my! I need a break. I need a break. I'll be right back. Where was I even going with this, man? Where was I even going with this? I don't know. I was saying this personable. Oh right, the shameful part. Okay, this is going to be a recurring thing. I didn't have any friends. When I tried to hang out with my group members, they would just kind of hang out with each other, and I would just be there. So I went to. There was a cafe at this camp. It was a nice camp. I'll admit it. It was a pretty place. It was kind of lit, honestly. They had a cafe in the middle. I was too stupid to realize it was lit, or too scared of interaction to realize it was lit at the time. There was a cafe in the middle of it, and everybody got like a single coupon thing that I could buy like one drink. I wanted to save mine because that was the meta back then. That was the sorry, I'm not scooted in. My apologies. So I went over there to browse the options, and the cashier was a very pretty goth girl. It's one of those. It's a type of person where you just kind of don't know people like that exist. Then you idolize them, set them to a higher pedestal than they actually are, and they become, I guess, a little bit less human and more just perfect in your head, you know? So this person I idolized, I guess. I thought they were very pretty, and I thought they were very funny, and they had friends. They were just really cool. It was just a person to look up to at the time, and I didn't really had none. So I would listen. First time I met her, and then I had to go sit down at one of the. No one sat down at the place for whatever reason, because there was funner crowd to do outside. There was like karaoke and rock climbing stuff. I would sit down. I would grab a book from one of the books on the side. Again, it was a lit place. One of the books on the side, and I would listen to her have conversations with her friends. I think it's a lot more sad than embarrassing, okay? Like, embarrassing was that I'm realizing now my nipples were 110% poking out this entire time. I hate nipples so much, man. They infuriate me. They make me mad. Nipples. It's weird. It's a weird thing. I don't understand it. Ugh. Ugh. Oh. God damn. Areolas. That's what they're called. They're scary. I had a nightmare once that I was. I'm not. I'm really good at talking too much sometimes. Where was I? Right. There. There's a little sort of embarrassing, more sad than anything story. Yeah, so I would just during free time, most of the free times, I just sit there and listen to her talk to her friend. She was there like all week and pretty much all times. Eventually the days end. I go to bed. God damn, this is an embarrassing story. Well, shit. Wow, damn. Whatever, we're continuing. I'm already 50 minutes in. I'm not gonna stop now. Fun fact, I tried to record this video twice. Each time it wasn't up to what I thought it could be. I would repeat words, or I would say like 40 times, which I'm sure I already have. I just really hope you haven't noticed. Both times I wrote a script. Not both times. One time I wrote a script. The next time I wrote no script, but I thought I could do better without a script, and this time I don't have a script. So there. Here's a little fun fact for you. I'm sure it doesn't matter at all, or whatever. We're continuing. I said continue. We're not taking another break. I have to get through this before I get so tired that I can't continue. Okay. All right. Okay. Where was I? Wednesday. Same thing happens the next day. I wake up. I hope what happened yesterday was just some terrible fluke. It was some glitch in the matrix that just caused me personal suffering. Nope. No, that's not what happened. Got up the same time. This time I stood for the full 4 hour 30 minutes. My eyes glazed over. It just kind of. I guess I had some thoughts, but it was just. It was dull in that noggin of mine. It was. I was getting angry and scared, I guess. It was a light level of angry and scared, which is a wild thing to feel when this is kind of just all that's happening. I guess it was more just the feeling of being so alone. They separated the boys and the girls so much that I couldn't really, talk to my sister much. And the few times I did see her were like during free time. I saw her one time during free time. I was laying on a hammock staring at the sky, and she's like, "Dude, what are you doing?" I was like, "Odyssey, we're in hell. We have to escape." And she's like, "I I killed a homeless man. What are you talking about? This place is lit. This place is awesome. What are you talking? Dude, are you crazy? God damn, you're ugly as hell." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. What was that day's activity? I get out of what is it called? Religious getting together, exploring the Bible, Christian rock music, worship. I get out of worship, and Wednesday's activity was really cool. I do remember this a lot. It was basically Splatoon. We went all the way down the mountain. The hill was terrible, by the way. This is going to be an important plot device. I I kind of actually felt mad at myself for a second there. Device. There's gonna be important plot device later. Go down the hill. The road, it's terrible. There's thorns and there's like garbage and glass and stuff. And the pool is at the very bottom. Pool, it was very, very nice. It was a nice pool. There was this little tunnel thing that you would have to walk through to get to the pool. And there's a gate, you open it. It was a giant pool, okay? And there was like, what are they called? Beach chairs is the type that, well, they're like this and they go like that. And they're like white and they got stripes. I'm a wonderful storyteller. Doing great for myself. Inside the pool, there was there was a separation. There was like a bunch of lines and stuff that separated the pool into 8 groups. 8 groups for each group. There you go. See, you inferred it. You knew what I was going to say, and yet you still stood there and waited for me to say it. Whatever, dude. I almost said it again. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to sleep like a baby that got hit by a truck carrying a load of cocaine and then run over by an F1 car. Okay. I was in group red. I was in the red section of the pool. They had these balls. They had balls, colored balls, that you would have to throw into each of these groups, right? And whoever had... How did this work again? I'm thinking about it in my head. This makes no sense. Whoever had the most of their color in someone else's pool? I think it was that. Yeah. And I think we did win that one. It was a lot of fun. Said again. Whoopsie daisy. I let my hair down, so my hair was soaking wet. I hate the feeling of wet hair. If I ever do myself in, it's because I had wet hair and it was on my neck and I was scared. And I hate the texture, and then my skin is dry and cracked afterwards. Afterwards. That pool activity was very fun. Highlight of the entire camp. I remember everyone slowly leaving the pool after the activity was done. because now it's free time. You're gonna go spend your free time somewhere else, or just stay in the pool. A lot of people stayed in the pool. I stayed in the pool, and my group stayed in the pool. Zester was there, and so was I. I get out of the pool. I go to one of the beach chairs, and I lay on my side, and I go, wow, this really sucks. Wet hair is on me. And there's a beach chair in front of me. Zester gets out of the pool, and he lays in the beach chair in front of me, and lays at his side, looking directly into my eyeballs. All right, we're gonna analyze this shit. Okay? All right, hear me out. Right, so we're now both staring into each other's eyeballs. There is no reason the following conversation we're going to have, because we're going to have a conversation, the likelihood that we're going to have a conversation is much higher because we're staring into each other's eyeballs. It doesn't have to get weird. Even though we're both laying on our side and staring into our eyeballs intently. It's oddly intent. I don't know. I was admiring the details of his eyes, and I think he was doing the same to me. I'll get to that in a second. The reason why the conversation was going to get weird is because young me, we'll call him R for short, just for this, okay? Any other way it'd be lame, was inflicted with two things: social anxiety and sleep deprivation, the two S's. And social anxiety and sleep deprivation equal autism. And autism means you don't really know what to say in conversations. So I opened the talk with him by saying, "You have blackheads." And this alone, kind of odd, right? Well, that's kind of an odd thing to say, but not too out of pocket. That's just like it's an observation of another human being. But remember, the Zester is inflicted with homosexuality and extremely Christian parents, which means he doesn't know that he's homosexual, right? And he responds with, "Do you think they look bad on me?"
What?
Remember, I'm inflicted with autism, right?
What?
And I go, "No. Do you like my face?" I haven't told this story. All right, I've told most of the story to one of my friends. And if he decides to make it all the way here, he's going to hear this for the first time. And I just want to let him know. First of all, I hate him. Hello, welcome to this part of the video. I don't like you. Yes, I just remembered this part of the story. No, I'm not that homosexual. Although this does end with both me and Zester kissing behind a shed. Whatever. I'm not gay. The reason I'm not gay in this conversation is because, as you can see, I'm inflicted with autism, and he's inflicted with homosexuality. Now, autism means I didn't know that this was getting really gay. I didn't know it was getting gay.
What?
But he doesn't know that he's homosexual. So what part when you don't know you're homosexual and having a homosexual interaction, not homosexual? All I'm saying is that if he didn't really know, I didn't know, so it wasn't a homosexual interaction. Kissing in the background, that was practice. I'm not making this sound any better for myself. Pro tip, do not tell your family that you have a YouTube channel. I was a retard, and I was like, "I just got a YouTube channel, everybody. Come on down to my YouTube channel." And they, of course, responded with, "God damn, you're ugly." And I'm like, what the fuck? I can't keep making that joke. It's so funny to me. I don't know why. I just keep thinking that I look like a salamander. I saw it one time, and I can't unsee it anymore. I'm like, oh my god. I look like a salamander. Editor, put it up. I look like a salamander. I don't know what to tell you. It's just kind of true. And then I waited a while because I realized, wow, the videos I want to make is not something that I want people who have a direct line to me to know. It just sounds so bad. Maybe I'm a fool. Maybe I'm not thinking about this straight. I think I'm definitely an idiot. Yeah, I waited a long time, so it could hopefully leave their minds, and then I changed the name from what I told them. I am planning on showing them one day, just not today or tomorrow or the day after that. I think they'll get it when I'm like definitely over 18. Not that I'm not over 18 currently. Like I said, I'm 42. Where was I at this story? What is this story about? Oh yeah, right. I was kissing a dude behind the shed. No, I left the shed. He stayed back. Everyone's pretty much gone, and it is dark. It is dark now, and it is about to be curfew, so I got to get out of there. I got to leave. Oh my god, I don't really want to mention this part. Again, this is embarrassing. This is an embarrassing story for me. All right, let me go through the 5 stages of fuck me. I was a loser. Okay. Now, I packed one pair of underwear, like I had mentioned beforehand. Now, this is an important plot device. I didn't have any. I don't think I had any other underwear at the time because I never wanted to bother my mom with having to buy me things. So I just kind of didn't put it off, and I didn't have any other underwear at the time. Um, and my swim pants that I packed were really loose, and I didn't want to give a bunch of kids straight buns, so I wore my underwear under that, and it ended up shrinking or something, and it started scraping against my skin whilst I was going up the mountain. I'm going up the mountain, and it's scraping against my skin. There you go. There's the explanation, and it's peeling back the layers of my skin, and I'm bleeding and crap. It's like on my thighs and stuff. It's not like anything else or anything. My hair is wet and down, which is terrible, and my skin is completely and utterly dry. I've got sunburns basically everywhere. Um, and I was wearing sandals that would end up falling apart like halfway up the mountain. So I was walking on the bare ground. It was just not fun. It was just kind of like, it was like sort of miserable. There was a goal in mind, which made it a lot more bearable. Oh yeah, by the way, I met the homeless man on the way up. I'm not on the way up, on just the beginning part of the way up. I go through the tunnel, and there's this guy right here. I switched subjects Oh wow, yo. I know I'm capable of speaking. Okay, I switched subjects really fast. I know. I'm sorry. I went from really sad to, hey, I met a homeless man. I'll get back to the sad stuff in a second. The homeless man that my sister ended up sacrificing along with a bunch of other Christian girls and burly Christian boys who would hold him down before the police arrived and took him away. He was wearing, I remember, a raggedy gray t-shirt. It was dirty. He was wearing ripped, it was like cargo jeans or something. And he was wearing perfectly clean, uncreased Adidas. Nice. Continuing. All right, fine. We'll go back in for a second. All right, I'm sorry. I walk past him. He looks at me and he goes, "Hey, kid." I go, "What do you want, mister?" He goes, "Call me the Pittsburgh Pickle King, the way I be popping lumpy dick." Okay, so that's like kind of what happened. All right, going back to the mountain. I'm walking up the mountain. My feet are fricked at this point. I didn't want to leave my sandals behind because I wouldn't have any shoes otherwise. And I'm like bleeding stuff. I was really dry. I was sunburnt. I I've never been like a crier, but I was just devoid of all emotion. I'm staring down at the floor like it's the only thing I'll ever do forever. Until I eventually get up the hill, get into the shower, take a cold shower because the sunburns were killing me at that point. Tie my hair like really, really hard in the back of my head so I didn't feel it anymore, and I would just keep it there. But don't do this when you take a shower. Don't just immediately tie your hair up. If you're a dude who doesn't know how to take care of your long hair, don't do that. Don't do that. It's gonna manage your hair, man. It's gonna unhealthy for you. You're gonna get a lot of dandruff. It's gonna be really gross and oily. Don't do that. Okay. Thank you. I'm trying to pass down knowledge to you, big dog. Relax. And you get all defensive. I get out of there and I tell them I have a knee injury because I didn't want to tell them, well, hey, I'm bleeding from my thighs because I decided it'd be funny to bring underwear into the pool with me. This is a terrible. This is a terrible story. I don't even know. Like, I don't know. It's like, ah. I really wish I had no shame. Unfortunately, I've grown some. And it's been a terrible experience for me. I'll figure it out. How to get a little bit less of that. Anyway, continuing upwards. I said continuing, but I added upwards, so does it really count? Am I over it now? I will try my best not to say it again, okay? Sorry. I asked for an ice pack. I used it on my knee, telling them I had a knee injury until we went to bed, and it was my thighs. There. That is the last you'll hear about it. Just know that it was a problem. It was a problem, all right? And it was one of the reasons I was like, I have to get out of here. I don't have any clothes anymore. And I did not have a washer and dryer, so I would just wash my crap in the shower with me with like a bar of soap. And then it was too embarrassing to like hang it up to dry anywhere for some reason. Social anxiety. So I would just wrap it in my towel in my bag and just hope it dries. What day was it? That was Wednesday. The free time during that day was, spent at the pool, so we just kind of went to bed. Next day, Thursday. This was a very important day. Yeah, this was an important day. Was that Thursday? Am I losing my mind? Am I smoking the crap pipe? Am I? It was Thursday, right? Monday, we get there. Tuesday, Skip, Swimming Pools, Kendrick Lamar. It was a very good song. I really liked that album. Thursday, that's this day. This is a very important day. Oh, right, I forgot to mention. While I was going up the hill, that's when I decided I had to escape from this place because I was in hell. I have to get out of here. I have to leave. There. That's why that was happening. That's why Thursday's me devising a plan to escape. The newfound confidence in trying to find a way out of here actually helped me a lot in social situations, especially when I was standing up for 4 hours, 30 minutes and bleeding. I didn't have a single panic attack. I had a couple of them that I didn't tell you about because, it's kind of repetitive. Hey, I had another panic attack, went to the bathroom and threw up. I didn't have a single one that day. I remember being kind of proud of myself for that. I got out of there. What was the activity for that day? Oh my god, it's faded in my memory. I don't remember. My phone died. It's the same day. We still have some sort of continuity here. What was I talking about? What was happening? I'm not sure. Where am I? What year is it? I'm just a baby. What were you guys doing when you guys were babies? Me personally, I was like eating dirt, snorting stuff. Right, okay. No, I'm just kidding. I don't remember. I don't. Okay, right. Nope. Still don't got it. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at you like that because I think it's funny. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. I was talking about how, and it was the last day, and the cafeteria. Oh, it's all coming back to me now. It's the last day, right? And that's not the last day. It's Thursday, and I'm devising a plan to escape, right? So, after the activity and after worship, obviously. No, I didn't want to mention this beforehand because it seems inconsequential. That's a big word for a big man. What can I say? Mama raised me intelligente. I hate myself too. Don't worry, man. I'm just kidding. I love myself. What am I talking about? What is going on? I'm just saying words, man. Okay. So there was a cafeteria because they had to feed the stupid freaking kids on the property, and the kids had to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. They had cafeteria. They had they had breakfast cafeteria. They had lunch cafeteria, and they had dinner cafeteria. Right? Thank you for your valuable inputs. Thank you. Can we get a round of applause for this guy? You're really helping me out, man. Damn. And in the breakfast cafeteria specifically, at the far, far left end, there was this really terrible egg salad. And you can grab pretty much of the food as you wanted as long as you had, room on your plate. They just give it to you. It was one of the good parts about the place. Not that the food was really that good or anything. This egg salad was really, really bad. So basically the plan to escape was poison myself with disgusting looking egg salad, throw up on the nearest person I could, and they would kick me out. They can't keep me there. I basically have the plague, right? That was the plan. Unfortunately, I devised this plan after cafeteria. And by the way, cafeteria was after worship, which is kind of insane, kind of a crazy thing. Me personally, I wake up, the first thing I do is eat. I wake up, I eat, I brush my teeth, and then I do literally everything else. If you brush your teeth before you eat, you're kind of weird. You're weird, bro. You're kind of what's the point? What? Whatever. Okay. It's Thursday. I have the plan. I can't do the plan because the lunch and dinner food was edible, and that wouldn't make me throw up. So I'd have to wait till tomorrow. And I knew since cafeteria happens before free time that I wouldn't see the goth girl again. So this is free time at this moment. We're past activity because I don't remember the activity was. And beforehand, I had made some lackluster efforts to communicate to the goth girl. Yeah, it was more just me kind of mumbling and her going, Are you lost? Do you need help? Should I call 911? Blink twice if you're gonna get molested by the guy behind you. And it was just me going, and then sinking into a bottomless pit of despair and crawling away like a little cockroach. This time, however, I had confidence. I was gonna poison myself with egg salad. I can talk to this goth girl, okay? I go up to the goth girl. I don't even know her name, by the way. I'm just calling her goth girl. Not that I would share names, but I don't know her name. I didn't make it that far. I go up to the goth girl and I go, "Hello." And she goes, "God damn, you're so ugly." And I go, "This was the most beautiful moment of my entire life." And I skitter away. Like a WoW player. I skitter off on all fours. I was full of glee. It felt magical, to be completely honest with you. It was like someone unshackled me from my chains. I was very happy. Kind of pathetic? Yeah, alright. Oh, so it was kind of pathetic. Yes. I think if you can get happiness from simply saying hello to someone, one, you have a problem, but two, good for you, sort of. Not really. Sort of good for you, maybe. Yeah, it depends. It's a very situation. You know, I was proud of myself. That's the end of that day. There's not much that happened. Friday. This was the last day of camp anyway. I didn't have to escape this day. Okay. I like I said, I wasn't a smart child. I get up, determined as hell. Determination has been a consistent since I've decided to poison myself with egg salad. I go to worship, didn't have a single panic attack, not to brag or anything. Didn't freak out and go and throw up in the bathroom. I did sit down. I did sit down a couple times before standing back up to Hitler. All right, listen, you can't completely get rid of the peer pressure or the just wanting to feel normal like everybody else. I got out of there, and the breakfast cafeteria was before the activity. And I never got to find out what the activity was. And I go to the far left end where nobody would dare venture in the cafeteria, and I grab my plate and I look at the lady, and she looks down at me and she goes, "What the fuck do you want over here?" And I go, "Of course, give me all of the egg salad." And she looks down at me and she goes, "Boy, do you understand why this egg salad is the way it is? Because I need this egg salad, little jit. You understand? I don't get paid, little jit. I get nothing from around here. I get no money, no bands. I get no insurance, no cloud, nothing. You understand? I need this food for me. Because I don't get paid. Why do you think it's so shit? I leave it out in the sun so you damn kids don't eat it." And I look up at her and I go, "Stupid. I need it." First of all, I would say bitch if they were a man or woman. Alright? Okay, I think a bitch is more gender neutral than anything. I've been called a bitch and a dick plenty of times. She loads up my plate with a bunch of egg salad. And I look at it and I go, wow, that's vile. It kind of looks like if a bunch of birds just shat in a plate of spaghetti. It's clearly not enough. So I grab 4 of these little plastic bottles, the plastic bottles I'm talking about, of water. And I walk over to this little corner like a freak. I don't even grab utensils. I just grab my hands. I go, oh. I eat all of it. I down the 4 bottles of water. I'm trying. It kind of felt like someone put a bowling ball inside of my stomach. I'm wandering around. I feel inebriated. I don't know how to walk properly. I'm not sure what year it is. I'm already salivating for some reason. I remember specifically going, "Wow, this is a terrible idea." I run out of the cafeteria to go find my victim. I needed the victim to be a higher class, because if it's just some stupid kid, they're not going to care about the kid getting thrown up on. I needed to be someone they would recognize getting thrown up on. So I went and find my group leader, the bastard, the poor guy getting paid freaking, what, $13-14 an hour. Ooh, no good. That's no good for that guy. Poor, not a great day for the Delonster. Delonster. By the way, neither of those names were real. I was just saying that to fill in dead space because I am afraid of silence. Anyway, I run to the cabin, which was what the cafe was called. I run to like the little dorm things. I go to the fields. He's not there. These are way closer than you would imagine, by the way. I'm not like an Olympic sprinter going around everywhere. And then, I find his bum in the bathroom. And he goes, "Hey, Gage." Thinking we reached some sort of understanding. Like we're friends or something. Like I'm not about to throw up on you for my own personal gain. I throw up on his shoes. And I look up at him like... And he looks down at me like... That was a bad example. We'll roll with it. I end up in the infirmary. Oh my god, you know when nurses are like trying so hard to keep you to stay there? I'm like, yo, just let me leave, bro. I'm like clenching what little ab muscles I even had at the time to force myself to throw up. That sounded way worse than it was. Force myself to throw up, and they'd be like, "Wow, have you drank enough water today?" I'm like, "Motherfucker, I'm throwing up in front of you. What is that I gotta do with it?" And I respond with 4 gallons. He goes, "Well, we're in the mountains. You need 8." I don't know if that's real or not. He might have just spout shit. And I respond, this goes back and forth for a while, ping ponging off each other. And eventually, I hit him with a trump card. I hit him with something he can't refuse. I, I'm gay. And they got my ass out of there. I was gone. Called my grandpa within seconds. Called him up. He said, "Get this little shit out of my gosh, diddle dying, gosh, diddle darn." I don't know where I'm going with this. I'd wanted to sound more southern. I don't know what southern people do. Get him out of my camp right now. Bottom 10 YouTubers. Number 1, Rancor. Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever, dude. My grandpa pulls up, and I look like a battered orphan. I'm looking rough. I'm looking kind of like a naked mole rat. My teeth are yellow. I forgot to pack a toothbrush. Probably should have told you guys about that. I was using exclusively mouthwash. Oh my gosh, I was a fiend. I was a little gremlin. Grandpa still hugged me though. I got in his car. I remember going down in his tiny little car around the windy road. It was really nice. The sun was on my skin. I felt free, unshackled, unbothered by what had just happened. I was like, "Oh my god, that shit worked? No way, dude. I'm free, yippee!" I don't think he took me to get ice cream. I don't think I cared that much. I remember I went home and just ate a bunch of junk food. Took a shower, got changed. I was very happy. I was so joyful. I felt whimsical. I was practically frolicking out of that place. I was frolicking. I was playing it up a little bit because they now thought I was gay. Got my ass out of there. That's kind of the end of the story. I made a lot of jokes, and I figured since it is kind of a serious story, I might as well tell you what wasn't a joke and what was a joke, even though I hate doing that. What was jokes? All of the interactions with people were jokes. Me kissing the boy was a joke, and what else? I don't know. I don't know. I don't even. Was I even there? Is anybody listening? I think that's it. No, there was like one more. There's like one more thing that I'm not remembering. What's up, little gooner? That's not the best intro. We'll roll with it. I didn't actually throw up on his feet. I threw up like kind of close, maybe kind of near him, next to him, sort of. Yeah. Since you somehow made it all the way here, I mean, you might as well tell me what I'm doing so terribly wrong. I know I'm doing something wrong. I just can't tell. That's it. Back to the end of the video for some reason. Thanks for watching. I don't know. I feel like I'm not remembering it, and then someone will be like, "That's not a joke. You actually did this shit." Oh, right. Yeah, that counts as interaction. I was going to say the homeless guy saying Pittsburgh Pickle King. That counts as interaction with someone. No, he didn't say that. I just walked past him and he was mumbling, and it freaked me the fuck out. I walked like a lot faster. Eventually, like halfway up the hill, I was just so miserable. I continued to my old pace because, like, well, like, what are we doing here? I must have died. I must have died in that car. That giant lady overdosing on Twizzlers got in a car wreck, and I died with 3 handfuls of Twizzlers in my mouth. Not a bad way to die, I don't think. Thank you for watching. Genuinely. I want to make better content. Content. I don't content. Content is a stupid word. I want to make better videos. I want to make better little things. That's all I have to say, really. Uh, that's it. I think. Bye bye.